good morning everybody, Frank Valkyria. Welcome to the channel. Today we gotta look into this. More claims. Yesterday night at the end of the interview that was aired on Peacock, the streaming service, AH alleged that this binder full of therapist notes was proof that she was in a DV relationship with JD. And incredibly enough, now the span of this DV went all the way back to 2011. As you can see right here, we'll check into that for a sec after that. AH now claims in inadmissible therapy notes alleging back to 2011, her prior statement claimed the first incident was regarding the tattoo. These notes have been attributed to Bonnie Jacobs. Jacobs was on the list for live link testimony. Depp did not object. So we haven't seen that. I wonder why. So those notes, how about those notes? H told her therapist she told the entire freaking world that she donated $7 million to charity. Frank Debrin, I totally support that statement. So now you see that the headlines of some mainstream media, legacy media, are going after this, being, as usual, a little vague. I can understand you want to drive this home, so to speak. But let's remember that those are self-report, like you just read. And honestly, if you ask me, this is the easiest way. This is the simplest thing that you can forge. I'm just alleging. But the mountain of evidence that they claim they had, which they could not submit, it amounts to nothing more than self-reports. That's it. Another thing that it's quite striking, I know the internet is fast and this is pure speculation here. This was shown in the interview last night, and somebody highlighted some of the words which were shown on the screen from those papers you have there in the back, which they also say confidential. I don't know why, who wrote that, if it was the newspaper, like the TV station, or they came like that. I honestly don't know why confidential written on top. That seems like kind of sketchy. I don't know who did that. This actually are her notes where she signs herself as Slim. And you see some similarities between the words here, then, for instance, and some other words in the T, with the way the words are written here. So those are the notes from the therapist. Those are her notes. So somebody's already pointing out, again, pure speculation, but those writings, somehow they are similar. And also my question is this therapist writing a novel? Like, because this is a lot of stuff. They're written like, you know, some of the things that were read out feels like very descriptive, as if you're almost reading a chapter of a novel. So I find it kind of strange that a therapist will go through like really writing everything down like that, to that extent, instead of pointers. I don't know. Again, we know that was not objected for Bonnie Jacobs to appear in court, but apparently we didn't hear that. So I wonder. Again, this has to be one of the last attempt to trying to change the narrative. And funny enough, in the interview also there is a part which actually shocked me, where Savannah Guthrie asked her, like actually told her, like, listen, none of his exes came forward stating, you know, like what you're stating. You're the only one that is accusing him of that. And her reply was like, look what happened to me for coming forward. Would they, or something like that? So she replied with a question, which honestly blew my mind. I was like, seriously? She's insinuating that, first of all of them lied again. Even Kate Moss lied under oath in court because she was afraid to come forward and tell the truth. Plus the other didn't, because look what happened to her. I'm blown away. And it's amazing because then, just like clockwork, an ex-girlfriend, I suppose, of JD, I don't know, wife or ex-girlfriend, Cheryl Fenn, I don't know her name fully, I apologize. Please call me out if this is not accurate. This should be verifiable on Twitter. So Sherry posted this: I know JCD is not capable of the things being written. I don't know if people went to fish something that came out in 2016 with whatever restraining order may be. I don't know, because here I see posted May 29, 2016. So I'm not 100% certain. So it's something that needs to be verified. But again, you see that more people coming forward, or were already forward, stating what we already know. So the mountain of evidence mounted to nothing more than notes that we also don't know who they are from, because nobody clarified that for us. So make of it what you want. And I don't think this has served there very well. There is this article actually from the Daily Mail UK, written by Jan Moore, and it's actually very interesting because we have heard too much of AH has given her first sit-down interview since losing the defamation trial brought against her by ex-husband Johnny Depp. It has been suggested that Miss H was paid a large sum for the interview and was provided with some question in advance. So we know that she got paid, apparently, but despite these advantages, she still fails to elicit the sympathy and support she clearly craves. Expert from the NBC interview, which will be broadcast in full in America tonight at 8, finds the 36-year-old actress in an unrepentant mood, complaining that the trial was unjust and that the jury were dazzled by Depp's fame. You cannot look at me in the eye and tell me that my trial was fair, she says. Actually, says the writer, Amber, I could. I really could. In court and in this interview, she comes across as dangerous narcissist who thinks that everyone is wrong and only she's right. The writer states here, she makes a big deal about being ill-treated on social media as if that counted for anything. And she continues with the lie, at the heart of this case, I spoke truth to power and I paid the price, she tells interviewer Savannah Guthrie. So, many wish that Amber would just go away, but this is the woman that many followers, high-profile journalists and celebrity supporters insisted we must support, too, in order to preserve the integrity of the Me Too movement and the sisterhood. Yet, untrammeled by the formalities and legal restriction of the court, this interview provides a real sense of AH, and it isn't pretty or comfortable to watch. It also further undermines the suffering of domestic abuse victims who might not know now be believed because of AH. That is the real legacy. She should think about them instead of feeling sorry for herself. Well, good article. I'll leave you with that. Guys, thank you so much for the support. Please subscribe if you want. Hit the like, leave a comment, and I'll see you later. Take care of yourself.